How's it going, guys? Carl here, North Coast Constrictors. Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about one or two subjects. I want to show you some of my holdbacks that we have hatched out this last season, and I also want to follow on update a little bit on a subject that has been pretty much going around on a lot of YouTube channels, a lot of snake breeders, and that is this whole big ball python or reptile market industry bombing out or crashing or whatever the case is. Okay, now, and I watched an interesting video today from Always Evolving, and just like my previous video, I said exactly the same thing as pretty much word for word what he said, which was it's industry wide, it's not specifically ball python or reptile related. Every single industry is doing this. However, there is a trend in the ball python industry where every few years, like maybe every, first of all, economically, literally worldwide, every maybe 8 to 10 years, the market hits a slump. Okay, go into a recession, and then boom, everything pulls out, comes back to normal again. It happens all the time. It almost seems like it's a 8 to 10 year cycle. Here in South Africa as well, I know there's a lot of my viewers are American. You'll know what I'm talking about. So, when the market in general is bad, everything is going to suffer. It's not just going to be selling your snakes. Okay, so what to do? And also, now guys are panic selling. Okay, here right now in South Africa, it's hatchling season. Obviously, we opposite to America when it comes to breeding and hatchlings, because our summer is in December and their summers are in June in America. So we breed in June and hatch out our hatchlings from November right through to, if you got late goes right up until April, May. And where America, it's the opposite. So when we are pairing up, America is the northern hemisphere is hatching out, and when we're hatching out, the northern hemisphere is busy pairing up. Now, what's happening is in South Africa right now, there are just hatchlings galore. Okay, oaks have bred and are trying to sell hatchlings left, right, and center. And what's happening is there's a lot of panic selling. Guys are dropping prices. I've seen morphs that are last year were selling, like for example, here in South Africa, a single gene clown female will go for 5,000 Rand. Single gene. That's what it was going for last year. Okay, they're going for 3.5. A single gene clown male, which would go for about 4 grand, is now, I've seen them being advertised for 1,800 to 2,500 Rand. Guys, this is a mistake. Okay, these are a lot of these guys are new breeders or guys that are just don't want to have the stock anymore and just sell it. They're shitting themselves and they want to get rid of their snakes because you pair up a whole bunch of snakes and you got a collection like this, and you have a decent season and you've got, let's say, pair up 40 females, and each of those females has, let's just say, 5 eggs. You're looking at 200 snakes. Okay. Hatchlings. Now, I did about 110 hatchlings so far, and I've still got 12 eggs in the incubator, and I've still got one more female to lay. So I'm going to do about 130, 135, somewhere around there. Now, problem is now those snakes grow. You got to feed them every week, and every single month they're growing, and then they got to go from these little hatchling tubs here. Okay, these hatchling tubs. Inside we've got and then they've got to move up to a yearling tub, which is this size. Has basically twice the size. It's 2 of those. Okay. And then from there, sorry guys, I don't have someone following me around with a camera. Okay, from there, we transfer them into these tubs. I'll pull out an empty one. These are 10 litre tubs, okay, grow out tubs. From there, we transfer them into these 26 litre adult tubs. Now I do have these tubs here behind me. These are 46 litre tubs, okay, so they're pretty, the floor space is the same as those black tubs, it's just higher. But if you take the length and the depth and the width, everything's the same except the height, okay. These are actually a waste of space. These two racks here, I'm getting rid of them. I'm in the process of having 2 new racks built. There's 24 snakes there, there's 12 and 12. I'm replacing that with 2 racks of 28 and 28. I'm building 2 racks where the floor space is almost identical to this 26 litre rack. However, the tubs that I found are not quite as high, okay? Inside there may be about a centimetre difference internally, but there's a good 2 centimetres, 2.5 centimetres difference in height. These are 20 high, I'm now going 14 high. And the reason why I'm doing that, guys, is because of space. I'm running out of space. These hatchlings now have to get moved. These have to get moved. All the ones that are here, these are 10 litres, these are 10 litres. Those are all going into the new racks. I'm getting rid of those, and yeah, anyway. So, without me going on too much about that, that is a problem, because what that in itself does is it creates an extra expense. It's one thing producing the snakes and having to feed them. The thing is now when they grow, now you've got to see now where I am in my particular breeding phase. Is I am keeping back most of my hatchlings because I'm a second, third year breeder. I have been working for 2 years now building up with powerful visual males, be it dominant, incomplete dominant, mixed with recessives, 1 or 2 recessive genes, or even 3, and pairing them with females that are, some of them are visual recessive, some of them are just dominant, and where I've used desert ghosts to make 100% hits, and then a lot of them were 100% hit for a certain recessive, maybe 100% hit for another recessive, or 100% hit for a recessive, then 66% for another one, and 50% for another one. I had to do things on a budget, and I bought a lot more snakes for a lot less money, okay? And I had to try and prove them out. The thing is, not all your snakes are going to prove out. I had 2 really, really fantastic females that I bought, and they're right over here. I'm going to pull them out now. Originally, this snake, when did she eat? Okay, it's okay. Don't bite me, my sweetheart. Okay, now this beautiful snake, she did well for me, okay? She just looks like a normal, okay? However, when I bought her, she was a 66% hit lavender albino, 66% hit clown, and a 50% hit pied. And she proved out 100% hit for lavender albino. Okay, so she gave me, I paired her up to a dreamsicle male, which is a visual lavender albino pied, and she proved out 100% hit for lavender albino. I have not, she's a first year breeder. Last year she was a first year breeder. This year she's going to be a second year breeder. This year she's going to a clown 100% hit pied. I didn't hit the pied on her last year, even though she's 66% pos hit pied, but that doesn't mean that she isn't pied as well. It could take 2 or even 3 attempts to get that out. So all of her babies are holdbacks, okay? Because the father was a visual lavender albino pied, which is a dreamsicle. So all the babies are lavender albino, 100% head pied, pos head clown, because she's a 66% pos head clown. Another female that did really well for me. Now you see, there's the problem. Yeah, you're buying snakes like this to get the visuals that you want, and now you've got to keep those visuals, and I got 7 eggs out of that clutch. You keep all of them back, and every single one of those with a female. And of course you want your female. Visual lavender albino, 100% hit pied, pos hit clown. I mean, come on. You don't sell shit like that. Okay. Now this girl here paired up with the same male. Now this girl, she really did a number for me. This is a blade. And when I bought her, she was a blade, 50% het pod, 66% het clown, and 66% het lavender albino. And she proved out 100% het pod. I paired her to the same male, so we got the pod out of her, and we still haven't bred her to a clown. She's 66% poss het clown. This year, she is going to the same male as that female. We're going to try and prove out clown. On this, I do have a very, very, very strong feeling that she is going to both of these snakes are going to prove out clown. Okay, I still have a sneaking suspicion that this female here, the first one that I pulled out, is going to prove out pod. Okay, I think she's going to prove out, I think she's a triple recessive. Okay, and it's because I've seen some markers on her. So guys, now she gave me 8 eggs. Okay, and out of those 8 eggs, 5 were females, 3 were males, 6 were all visual pod, 100% het lavender albino poss het clown, and 1 was a blade triple het, 100% het pod, 100% het lavender albino, 66% poss het clown. However, I still think she's going to prove out for clown. I have, and that's why I say I'm pairing her up to a clown this year. Now, guys, those are just 2 females that are bred this year out of 40, okay? And that right there, all of those hatchlings are holdbacks. Because I'm still trying to build up to the point where I've got visual recessives in my own collection that I've produced and that I will breed when they are in 2 years' time when they're breeding ready. So every single time I breed those snakes, I'm guaranteed of getting visual recessives. Now this year, those snakes, those 2 girls are going to be paired up to this boy here. He's an absolute machine. This is my clown, 100% het pod male, okay? And he is also going to be pairing up to a couple of 100% het pod, 66% het clown females that I've got in my collection to try and get visual clown pods. And he is possibly also going to 1 visual pod female, that'll breed a pod female. And the point of that is to hopefully get pod 100% het clowns or double heads. Okay, so let's say you're where I am and you got to keep, okay, now I've shown you 2 females. This whole row here, except for all the red tags, pretty much 80%, 90% of all these racks here, and all of those racks here, those are all breeding females. Okay, now I'm sitting here going into my 3rd season. I'm not breeding all of these females again. I've got a whole bunch of females here, all these ones with purple tags. Okay, I've got a color coding system. If it's an orange tag, it's a female that's an adult proven breeder. It means that she has already given a clutch of eggs. She's bred, she's given a successful clutch of eggs. If it's got a purple tag, it means she's an adult female and she's ready to breed. Okay, and she's a 1st-year breeder. All right. If it's got a red tag on it, it means it's a boy, whether it's a yearling. I use these tags for multiple uses. When I feed my snakes, as I put a rodent in there, I put the tag like that, okay? And so I know there's a rodent inside, boom, 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 boom. Then I come back, once I start from that side of the room, I end up at that side of the room, and I come and I do that, okay? Like I've just fed this girl now, you can see her tag is sitting over there like that. That means she's got a rodent in there, she's busy eating, okay? So, then I come through and I check all my tags. I go through all the tubs and I see who's eaten and who hasn't. Now, if I open this tub and this boy is eaten, I label the tub. I've got little stickers here. I put a date, today's date, and then another date for today's date to say that he ate. Okay, so they'll have 2 dates. Today is the 25th, so if I had to feed him today, I'd put a yellow sticker here to say I offered him on the 25th, which means my yellow sticker. You can see I've got yellow and green. And then my green sticker means he ate, and then I'll put the tag back there if he ate. If he didn't eat, I'll put it over there, okay, until I'm finished. And then I go, when I'm finished doing all of that, all the snakes that didn't eat, I move the tags over here, and then I do my labeling. I write out, which means that the date on there will stay, it will be the 25th, but the green sticker will stay the same date on the last day that he ate, the last time that he ate. And once I've done all my labeling and all my stickers, then I go back and I put it there. And then I know, then I come around to feed again, I can look, okay, 14th I offered him, 14th he ate, no problem. That was pretty cool. This one here, 23rd I offered her, she didn't take, she only ate on the 14th. Okay, and that's how I keep a record of my snakes. Right, so guys, what's happening is now is there's panic selling at the moment. Guys are selling a whole lot. I am spending a fortune on rats and rodents, mice. I am feeding my hatchlings every 7 days. I'm feeding my adults every 7 to 10 days, and my really big snakes probably every 10 days to 2 weeks. Okay, the ones that I don't want to like make them overweight. They're already like 3,500 grams or more. I've got a couple of females there like that, so that they'll get a meal every 10 to 14 days. Okay, but the expense comes in now. I have got to spend a couple of $1,000 on new racks, okay, because I'm keeping back a lot of snakes. I'm not selling a lot of snakes. In 2 years' time, once all of the snakes that I've produced, don't forget, I'm going to be repeating the process again. This year, all the juveniles that I bought in 2021, that are all in these grow-out racks now, and I've got some pearlers in these racks now that are going to breed this year for the first time. They are visuals, they are recessives, they're multi-gene recessives, they're dominant and incomplete dominant. I'm not going to go through all of them. The whole objective of that is to prove out, get the visuals, and then they all stay back. Then I'm going to sell the moms. Okay, I want to end up basically cut this facility down to about a half or maybe even a third of what it is, and literally have maybe 50, because I've probably got about just under 300 snakes or thereabout. Probably have about 100 snakes, maybe 120 snakes, and that is it. And they are an absolute like high end, and that is all I'm gonna do. That's just, and number one, manageable, because right now I don't ever have a social life. I don't have a spare moment. I've got a full-time job from 7 o'clock in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon. I've got a son. Take care of him on the weekends. I've got to do the rodent facility. I do that every Saturday morning and every Wednesday. It's at a separate location, and then guys, and then just every single day inside the snake room. So what's happening is a lot of guys that didn't understand what it involves to breed these snakes are now, especially money's tight because the whole economic situation in the world is pretty much messed up at the moment. They are getting rid of snakes. Guys are getting out of the hobby. Guys are selling, they're panic selling, they are dropping the price low, which is affecting other breeders, because now breeders that would have normally got, let's take a round figure and say 5,000 Rand for the snake. Now there's the same snake being sold for half the price, okay? It creates a problem. However, there is light at the end of the tunnel. This does happen in the ball python industry. You get rid of those people and they're gone. Okay, and then the demand, the supply goes down, the demand of the snakes go up, and the guys that stay in it and can weather the storm, keep your snakes, you breed them. By the time it comes time, 2 years time, I reckon it's going to take a year or two to recover. The ball python industry here in South Africa, I reckon we've got another year or two tough years ahead of us. But for me, that actually fits perfectly into my breeding program, because the bulk of the snakes that I'm breeding are specifically to create genes to hold back and breed in the future, where I intend to make my mark or my impact in the ball python world is in 2025, 2026, 2027. Okay. I'll start off in 2025. I think I already did pretty good in 2023, the 2022-2023 season. I produced quite a bunch of good snakes. I really did, which is going to make the 2025 season amazing with those kind of snakes. And this year, 2023, when I start pairing up in 4 months' time, I have got snakes that I purchased in 2021, and males. It's just going to be great, guys. It's going to be fantastic, and the bulk of those snakes are going to be holdbacks, which means I'm going to have so many snakes. Okay, but that means that a lot of these females in here are going to be sold. Okay, a lot of those females, and I'm just going to be keeping back the recessives that have got 1 or 2 visual recessives, or there might be a visual recessive 100% head for another recessive, and they may have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 dominant or an incomplete dominant genes mixed together. All right, so obviously you want your dominant genes. Dominant guys, don't write off dominant genes. Dominant genes really do amazing things in your recessives. Okay, so that's going to take about 2 years. The ball python industry is going to see a turnaround. I've spoken to a lot of breeders that have gone through this before. It dips and then it goes up again, and then a couple of years later it dips again. And those guys that have stood the test of time, it's those are the guys that didn't sell up after 2 or 3 years. They got into it. Good guys, I'm not going to lie, it crossed my mind. I mean, I've put, if you watch my last video, I put close on R1 million into my ball python breeding project. I could have put that into my business, and I was like in a mad mood the one day. I mean, things just didn't go well at work, and I was coming home and I had shit with snakes. I had snakes not eating, and I was lying in bed with my girlfriend, and I was going, fuck, I am so sick of this shit. I don't have any free time anymore. We can't go out on holiday. I don't get a moment to myself. If I'm not at work, I'm in a snake room. If I'm in the snake room, I got homework to do with my son. Everything. If I'm not there, I'm in the rodent facility. I'm constantly cleaning. I'm constantly changing water. I'm in the snake room until 10 o'clock at night, and I'm spending money. I've had to spend 5,000 Rand on rats this month, and I breed my own rodents, guys. That you must understand, I breed my own rodents. I've got a massive rodent breeding facility, a respectable rodent breeding facility, and still I'm running out of fucking rodents to feed my snakes. Sorry, I apologize for the odd F-bomb that I dropped. Now, when you're doing that, and not only that, I'm still buying some snakes. I'm still purchasing. If I see a high-end snake that I know is going to go with the snake that I've just produced, if I see a male that's going to be a bomb male for a female that I've just produced, I buy it. I mean, I'm not trying to play games. So I know that it's going to be a long time before I make my money, but that is what you guys need to understand. The guys that are sitting here hovering, that are on the fence at the moment, do I get out? Do I stay in? What have you got? What are you breeding? Have a look on Morph Market. See what's selling. The high-end genetics that are selling. It's the guys that are selling the lower-end genetics, and there's a dime a dozen. They are flogging them for half price. They're getting rid of the snakes. You're not going to make money that way. Also, you need to stick it out. You need to stand the test of time, guys. But it's like a secret ingredient, bro. You've got to have the right genetics. You've got to see what people are buying. You've got to see what people want, what's visually appealing to some people. You've got to go. You also, when you reach that level, and I'm not at that level yet, where you are making your own worlds first, where you are working on snakes that you are creating that no one else has produced, okay? And I am friends with a lot of breeders that are making worlds firsts, and they've been doing it for years, and they are ahead of the game, and those guys are exporting the bulk of their snakes overseas. Man, that's where I want to get to one day. Okay, so it's gonna take years, and it's gonna cost money, and there's gonna be days where you don't want to do it, where you just think, fuck, the juice is not worth the squeeze. It's not worth it. It's just like, I got to that point, and then I thought to myself, shit, I've done 2 years of this. I've invested so much money into it. And I've made such incredible snakes. I made snakes in my second season that I wasn't expecting to make. So I was very, very lucky, which is going to make my 2024 season a winner. My 2023 season is going to be great, but my 2024 season in 2025 is just going to be off the charts. Okay, so guys, that's it. Enough about that. So bottom line, moral of the story: stick it out if you can. It's going to get better. It's not the end of the ball path in the industry. The world economy will recover. Okay, people will start making money again. People will start spending money on snakes again. Okay, right, we're going to cut it over there. Right, let me pull out a couple of the hatchlings that I am holding back. Not a couple, because that entire rack there, most of them, 80%. I want to pull out some of my favorites. Okay, guys, it's no secret I'm a huge pod fan. I have made some beautiful Enchi pods. I've made some beautiful yellow belly Enchi pods. I have made some beautiful pod 100% head lavender albino, and I want to show you what the lavender albino influence does to pod. Also want to show you what Enchi does to pod as well. Enchi is a pattern enhancer. It gives it, you can get a high white, or you can take a high white pod, which is what I did this year. In fact, here he is right here. This is my boy. This is my yellow belly pod. He doesn't look like it. He's a high white. This is a yellow belly pod. His name's Duke. Okay, this boy, and I paired him up to an Enchi 100% head pod, and he's a high white, and Enchi is a pattern enhancer. So yellow belly is actually also a pattern enhancer. So for him to be a high white is just, well, it's one of the reasons why the breeder let him go, is because he was high white, you know. But what I did is, what you put in is what you get out, guys. Okay, but I thought the only way to get good hatchlings from this male is to put him with a female that, when mixed with the pod gene, will give strong patterns, and that's exactly what I did. I put him with this female here. She's an adult proven breeder now, so she's got an orange tag. I think she's in the blue, so I may not pull her out. No, she's okay, she's good. Here she is. Yeah, she's an Enchi 100% hip pod. Okay, I paired her to that male last year. All right, now I'm going to show you some of the females, some of the snakes that I got from her. She's going to go this year again. She's going to go straight back to that male. I created yellow belly pods, Enchi pods, yellow belly Enchi pods, and some straight pods. So let's just turn the camera around a little bit. Let's go to my hatchling rack. I got 2 hatchling racks over here. Okay, so guys, this is my hatchling racks, 60 and 120 hatchlings inside here, and they pretty much, they're full. I have 1 left at the end, at the bottom there. So from that pairing there, let's pull out a couple of those. Yeah, here's a yellow belly Enchi 100% hair powered female. I don't even know if this is one of the best ones that I've made. Oh, sorry, this is a yellow belly 100%, yellow belly Enchi 100% head pod. In fact, this girl is sold. I sold this female. I am having a bit of seller's remorse. You can see yellow belly, you can see the Enchi influence, and 100% head pod. I mean, just look at that ringer. Look at that ringer. This is a beautiful yellow belly Enchi 100% head pod female. You know, she got sold to a good friend of mine. He's got to come and pick her up now. She's ready. She's smashing. All right. Let's just pull out. Yeah, here's one of my holdbacks. Okay, here's a yellow belly Enchi pod, a female that I held back. Okay. So guys, you can clearly see the Enchi and you can clearly see the yellow belly. Obviously this high pixelation over here, the saddle over here, that's a clear indicator of yellow belly. And then this thick Enchi pattern over here, and there's a clear mark of Enchi. And then also if you look at the head stamp, you see the two lines that go from the eyes around the back of the head. There's no break, it's a join. Okay, so this here I made yellow belly Enchi pards. Enchi pard, I think I made 3 of them. Okay, anyway, so let's pull out just a normal yellow belly pard. This is one of my male yellow belly pards. He's a holdback. Okay. A lot of, see, compared to the father you saw was a very, very high white. You can see this has got some nice saddles on him. Still not like a 50-50, but more, I would say, like a 60-40, 70-30, 70% white, and but absolutely a holdback. Okay, keeping all my visuals, guys, keeping all my visuals. Now what I want to do here is I want to show you, now this is an Enchi, just a straight female Enchi pard. In my opinion, what I consider to be the perfect ratio of pattern saddle to white pattern. Now Enchi would normally be a massive pattern reducer, and I'm going to pull out an Enchi pard now, but guys, I mean, just look at that. Look at those saddles. I mean, tell me that this isn't the most beautiful Enchi pard that you've ever seen. Single gene Enchi pard, nothing else in there. I mean, that is an absolute cracker. That is a firecracker, man. Obviously, she's a holdback. Okay. Right, now I'm going to pull out some lavender albino, some pard 100% hit lavender albinos. Okay. So all these are holdbacks because they're going to the Dreamsicle project. This is a male. Okay. And now have a look at what that lavender albino does to that those pard saddles. Okay. So this is a pard 100% het lavender albino pos het clown. Okay, this is a boy. We had 3 of them. Okay, so this is one of them. We had 3 males and 5 females, and that were pard. One of them was a triple het. Here she is here. This was the only one that wasn't a visual. So this is a 100% het Dreamsicle pos het pard. But I can tell you now, I got a feeling, and she's a blade as well, guys. She's a blade. I can tell you now that this girl is going to prove out for pard. I've just got a feeling. This is the only non-visual that we got. But I mean, look at that look what the lavender albino does. See, guys, hets do have an influence even when they don't show a visual expression on the snake. Okay. Because this is supposed to be a normal, okay, well, it's a blade, okay, because it's got lavender albino in it. I mean, look at those gold and rusty colors. Look at that blushing up the side there. She is just an absolute stunner. Yes, she is a holdback. She is a holdback. Okay, here's a female pard, 100% het lavender albino, pos het clown. You can see how strong that Enchi pattern is there. Okay, this is one of our females. Oh yeah, and she's got one of the most beautiful emojis. Look at that. It can be like smiley if you hold her right, or she holds her body right. We got a lot of emojis actually on a lot of our lavender albinos. Let's have a look here. I pulled that one out already. Okay, here we go. Here's another boy. And we got another emoji on that one there. So, yeah. Now, guys, I'm going to show you what these are pairing up to, okay? So all these males, okay, because we had a clutch of lavender albino 100% het pards, everything were female, okay? Then we got pard 100% het lavender albino, 3 males, 5 females. 3 males, 5 females. Okay. So now we are pairing those when they are size together. Lavender albino, visual, 100% head pied, to visual pied, 100% lavender albino, dreamsicle. Now these are our lavender albino. Let me put out one that isn't in the shed. One of my favorites is this girl, this female here, lavender albino, 100% head pied, posset clown. Now, there are markers on her which are telling me that she is 100% head for clown. I've got a very, very experienced friend, very, very successful high-end breeder that has shown me markers on some of my lavender albinos, posset clowns, that have said to me, a clown. So we got 5, 6 of these, okay, all female, and then we got that and then we got one that wasn't a visual, 100% hip pied, lavender. I don't know where I put it. Anyway, it's not an issue. Oh, the dreamsicle. Oh yeah, another one here. There it was. It was a blade. Here she is. It's not the same snake I pulled out earlier. It's a different one. Okay, female as well. Okay, and just for shits and giggles, let me just pull out another one, another female, just to show you. I'm bragging now, guys. This is all about showing off my snakes. Look how beautiful my lavender albinos are. This is not just the lighting, guys. Look at those oranges. That is just like ridiculous. Look at that gold. Look at that gold blushing around the saddles. This is just ridiculous. All of these females in 2025 are pairing up to those male pied 100% lavender albinos, and we are going to produce visual dreamsicles out of that. Okay. Right, now I want to show you a couple of my last snakes. I know this is getting on a little bit now. I haven't labeled the tubs yet because, well, I've just been so busy with work. Now this is a very aggressive boy here. What a beautiful snake though. You're probably asking yourself, what is it? Of course you can see pinstripe. Of course you can see axanthic. Okay. All right. So the sire was a super pastel, yellow belly, axanthic VPR, and the mother was a pastel pinstripe, axanthic VPR. And this here, and this here, where is it? So I don't get bitten. These are the two. I got a whole bunch of them. I'm not going to pull them all out. Okay, so these two boys came out. Sorry, one's a male, one's a female. Okay, but now I'm sitting here with the struggle of trying to see which one of them is the all gene snake. One of them hit all the genes. Okay, so it's got the yellow belly. I've got a feeling it's this one here. Okay, I think this hit all the genes. I think this one missed the yellow belly. Okay, or I could be wrong. Whoa. Thank goodness that was not high. Okay, so these are holdbacks for future breeding projects. The rest of the clutch that came out were just axanthics. In fact, I'm going to pull out one now. Oh my word. I'll just show you. So now it's just shed. Tell me that isn't one of the most black and white snakes. So here for sure, I don't think this is super pastel. I think this is a pastel yellow belly axanthic. okay? And I'm saying that the yellow belly from the high white sides, the blushing there on the high white sides. But this girl just shed out. It's amazing that I opened it up. Have a look at that, okay? That is an exantic. That because of the pastel and the yellow belly, that is gonna stay black and white like that. What a winner. What a winner. You can see my dilemma here, guys. You can see. Just, okay, here we've got a super pastel, exantic. Okay, you can see the difference there. You can see the super pastel because instead of the on the spine here, the pattern on the dorsal here, it's whiter. The head's whiter, so this will have super. So this is a super pastel exantic VPR. I am pretty certain that it has also got yellow belly in it, but no pinstripe. Okay. Let's have a look and see what we got here. This is a pretty average looking exam. I think this pastel exantic VPR. She's actually a little bit muddy. It's quite strange seeing the other ones are so clean, but if you can see just that muddiness on the side there, which is quite strange, but very, very black on the top. Okay. But yeah, as I say, dad was a super pastel, mom was a pastel, so everything's going to be pastel. Same. This was the last clutch to hatch, guys. This is the last same. I'm not going to pull out the repeats. There. So that I pull that one out. Yeah, okay. So guys, anyway, and one of my favorite snakes, which is 100% head for Desigo. Sorry guys, you saw a lot of my back there. I want to show you two more snakes. Okay, this girl here is one of my absolute favorites. Okay, hang on a second. Sorry guys, she ate last night, so I'm not going to put it out. 24th. Oh, what a pity, guys. Sorry, I don't 48 hours if a snake is eaten, I don't pull them out. Okay, so guys, we're going to end off on that already. 42 minutes. Okay, so guys, those are just some of our holdbacks. We really, honestly, we've got, I mean, as you can see, there's 120 hatchlings inside here. I've got another hatchling rack over here. It's another hatchling rack over here, which I've put a whole bunch of so I ran out of space. I actually built that myself. Yeah, and then all around, guys, all around great season. We've had a good season. There are snakes in this collection here. Okay, this top row here. Okay, that row there, and this row here. Ridiculous. There are snakes that I am keeping to myself. I haven't put them on my YouTube. I haven't put them on my Instagram. They are, if you want to, for lack of a better term, they are North Coast Constrictors secret projects. And when I say secret, it doesn't mean that want to keep anything from you guys, okay? What I'm saying is that there are projects that are so intense. They are so intense, okay? And what I will tell you is that they are multi-gene dominant and incomplete dominant combined with double recessive, but unfortunately 100% het recessives. They're not visual recessives. If they were visual double recessives for those particular recessives, I would not be able to afford them. Even as it was, I couldn't afford them. Well, I could, but I had to buy the hits. Okay, so, and then that bottom shelf there are ridiculous snakes there. Unfortunately, I've got to wait until 2025 to breed them out. Let me put it this way, they're my dream projects. Okay, and yeah, there's like a treasure trove in those hatchling racks over there. And not only that, they are doing well, they are eating like beasts. The males will breed next year for sure. We're going to throw them to a couple other females here. The females will breed the year after. Guys, that's it. It's enough from me now. You've seen a whole bunch of the snakes that I've got. I really wish I could have pulled out a whole lot more, but it's 45 minutes now and I'm pretty sure you're sick and tired of listening to me go on about it. But guys, listen, I got a passion for this. I was losing it. I was getting mad. I'm pretty sure everybody else goes through those patches in the industry where they just think, oh man, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to leave you with this last thought, guys. Stick it out. Stick it out. It's going to be worth it in the end. Weather the storm. If it means you have to sit out a breeding season and don't pair up your snakes because you're worried about feeding all those males, all those hatchlings, sit out a season. Don't pair up this coming up season. Wait until next season. Just concentrate on the snakes that you got. Give them a year off. You know, do that even. I've already made a decision. A lot of these snakes, I paired up 40 females this last season. This season, I'm only going to pair up about 20. I'm halving what I've paired from last season. But what I am pairing is absolute quality snakes. I'm producing, well, hopefully if I have a good season and my females give me healthy hatchlings, I'm going to be making some fantastic hatchlings. So, yep, still got the passion. Does piss me off some days. Guys, it's going to piss everybody off. Hold on to your snakes. Don't let them go for too cheap, guys. Don't be tempted to sell your snakes for too cheap. It stuffs up the industry and it stuffs it up for other breeders like me and your mate and other breeders that you've been buying from. Really, you know, stick to your guns. I mean, if you can't put food on the table, then sell your snakes for whatever you got to. But if you can stick it out, guys, I promise you the market's going to turn. People are going to be spending money on snakes again soon. Guys, please, if you haven't done so already, like and subscribe, please. Love to have you on the journey with us. This is Carl from North Coast Constrictors. It's over and out from me. We'll see you on the next video.